How's it going, YouTube? This is Skull, and welcome to episode 57 of Zootopia on home video. Today, I will be showing off the final copy of Zootopia that I have from the country of Australia, and that is this, the Australian 4K release of the film. So this was released in Australia, obviously, on November 13, 2019, which makes this the most recent and final copy of Zootopia to release in the country of Australia. In fact, this is the last copy of Zootopia that will ever release in Australia. Now, I also need to mention that I've seen pictures online of this release, but with a picture that looks very similar to the Japanese 4K release. Now, it is basically this picture, but with Australian text. So it has Zootopia, 4K, all the logos, all the trade dress, and of course this big eyesore of a rating right there. I've seen pictures online of a 4K release from Australia with the Japanese 4K cover, but I've never actually seen one in person, and I've never seen one for sale. All I've ever seen is it looked like a stock image. And what I think happened is that the original intent was to release Zootopia in Australia with this cover, but at the last minute, they decided to swap it out and give it the same 4K release that we got in the United States and Zootropolis in the UK, for example. Basically, everywhere else in the English-speaking world got this cover, so Australia followed suit, leaving, I believe, this to be the only release on 4K with this picture. In any case, this is the only one I've seen. So if you see one online, it's probably just a stock image. And if you see one online that actually does have this picture, it's either a bootleg or they did release it and I'm a complete dunce. Anyway, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. As you can see, it is very similar to all the other 4Ks that we've seen from the US and the UK and other areas of the world. So we got this nice, very pleasant looking picture of Nick and Judy against a orange and yellow background. We got this nice 4K Ultra HD logo up there in the plastic itself. We got the very standard silver 4K Ultra HD logo there. The logo there, or I'm sorry, the rating there. The spine looks like this, if I could point it the right way up. Ultra HD, Zootopia, Disney Zootopia, Judy catalog number rating there, as we've seen with all the other Australia releases. And then all the legalese back there, not much to really talk about. It's nothing we haven't seen before. And as you might have guessed, it is just the disc, just the 4K disc of the film. No Blu-ray, no digital code, nothing extra. It's just a 4K release of the film. There's not even bonus features on here. It's just the film by itself. So I don't really know if this was standard practice in Australia with Disney, or if it still is with other region or with other releases outside of Disney, but it seems that the only reason to buy this was to own the film in 4K. I expect that most of the people who bought this were buying an upgrade instead of buying the film for the very first time. So I don't know this for sure, but I think this was a fairly cheap release. I know for me, I actually bought this brand new from a vendor in Australia, and it didn't cost me that much money. I mean, shipping was a pain, but like the actual release itself cost less than when I bought the Blu-ray, not the 4K, the Blu-ray in the United States brand new. I don't know if it's just because it's been so many years and they were discounting it, or if it started at a low price because there's nothing extra. It's just the case and the disc. So I don't know. Whatever the case, it's just a 4K disc in there. So there you go. If you're looking for a way of owning the film on 4K, but you don't care about extras, this is for you. I guess. This is a great way for you to own it because, as with all other 4K discs, this one is region free. So this will play just fine in your North American player or your European player. If you're a penguin in Antarctica, it'll play in your player, I think. Anyway, so it is a region free disc. The only languages on here are English, French, Spanish, and Japanese. So it's basically the exact same extra languages that we had in the UK Zootropolis releases. And just like the UK Zootropolis release, I can't get the koala to show up on this disc. It still defaults to the moose. I'm sure the koala's on there, but I can't get it to play in my North American player for whatever reason. I'm sure that there's some way of getting into the files and extracting it. You'd get the koala, maybe also other stuff as well. I don't know. Whatever the case, there you go. Anyway, so you might be wondering why I said this is the final release ever in Australia. Well, who's to say they won't get any more in the future? Well, Disney did. In 2023, Disney announced that they will no longer be physically releasing media, home video media, in the country of Australia. At all. Their final release ever that the country of Australia got from Walt Disney Home Entertainment was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and they haven't gotten a single new release since then. So, Zootopia released in Australia in 2019 on 4K. We have yet to see a wide re-release of the film anywhere. We did get the Disney 100 release in North America and Japan, but that was in late 2023. The UK didn't get that. Most other countries didn't get that, so I really wouldn't have expected Australia to get that anyway. But yeah, if Zootopia gets a home video re-release in anticipation of Zootopia 2, Australia's not going to get it. Zootopia 2 will not release in Australia at all. If you're in Australia, your choices of watching it are either to watch it digitally, to buy it or watch it on Disney Plus, or to import a copy from elsewhere, which a lot of physical media collectors in Australia, from what I understand, have been doing for a long time anyway. They've just sort of grown used to it even before Disney announced this. This is not okay for Disney to do, in my opinion. I feel like as long as people want to buy it, you should give them the option of buying it, especially in a country as big as Australia, so big that they named a continent after it. But it is what it is. And I hate using that phrase, but it is what it is. This is the final release of Zootopia in Australia, and there will never be another one. Unless Disney changes their mind, and they have been known to change their mind in the past. But not really with home video, not really that much. They stopped releasing 3D Blu-rays in most places for most titles. They haven't released a 3D Blu-ray of a Disney animation film since, I'd like to say, Ralph Breaks the Internet. Definitely not since Encanto. They haven't released a Pixar 3D film since Onward, and they only do 3D films for MCU films out of Japan. So if they haven't backtracked on 3D, despite there still clearly being a market for 3D, I don't think they're going to backtrack on releasing stuff in Australia either. So, yeah. For better or for worse, this is the last copy from Australia, which means, if anything, at least that there's a guaranteed subset if you wish to collect Zootopia home video from Australia. It's a rather big subset as well. You'll remember in previous videos I talked about how they had options of either buying the movie by itself or with a digital code in the box, and they were two separate releases. So there are a lot of things to go after in Australia. It's just kind of weird to hold something in my hand and say there will never be another one like that. That day always comes, but you never know it until after the fact. Like when this released, no one knew it was going to be the final one, and now we do long after the fact. It's a very surreal feeling. But that's part of the reason why I document all this stuff, so that you guys can be aware of it just as much as I am, and that'll bring this video to an end. I had fully expected this to be my final video showing off my home video collection, but as I was going through, I just hit 100 copies. As I was going through my collection, I realized, oh, there's actually a few left that I haven't talked about yet. Somehow they slipped through the cracks, and I have a few more copies of Zootopia on home video to show you in the next few weeks. So thanks everyone for watching. Please leave a comment if you learned something, and also if there's another copy of Zootopia on home video you want for me to cover in the future. There's still plenty of Australian releases for me to try and get. I don't have them yet, but you know, who knows what the future will hold. Thanks everyone for watching, and stay tuned for more.